extreme example might be eliminating a city department. If that were done via a proposed change to the code or to the charter, it really wouldn't be relevant that really wouldn't bear on whether it's an appropriate matter for a referendum. It's more the substance of the law that determines whether it's appropriate for a referendum. It could be debated whether Yonkers land use processes should be in the charter or should be in the code, but that's really an organizational question. And I see your point that this requires cross-referencing, but that's really true of virtually every chapter, every part of the charter. It requires cross-referencing with the code. The charter is essentially laying forth the powers of government, but the code does that too. So it's not as organized as maybe it could be, or maybe this is the best that could be done. So there are structural and organizational and authority-related issues that really are conceptually in the charter, but then the city code does those things too, but also fleshes out the administrative processes. So maybe the Landmarks Preservation Board could be created in the charter, but then its functions are described in the code if you really wanted to break it down. In reality, all of them, everything relating to the Landmarks Preservation Board is in the city code. So in a way, that has advantages because then someone looking at it will see everything there. For the other land use boards, there is some cross-reference, but the code and charter are in one set of books, and there's an index that refers people to both since it was recodified about 12 years ago. So it is manageable as far as that goes.
Then could I just ask a follow-up question?
Try.
I'm trying to figure out if this charter amendment would in fact lengthen the process rather than streamline the process, or what effect it would have on the process itself, because currently the process is that the Landmarks Preservation Board gets the input of the Planning Board, and then they hold the public hearing. That's in the code, I think. And then they issue a report, and then it goes to the City Council. And I think the way this would work is that it would then go to the Planning Board, and if the Planning Board, then the Planning Board has 60 days. So wouldn't that add time to the process that otherwise exists under the City Code?
Under some scenarios, it could, yes. If the Planning Board approves an initial landmarking, and that goes to the City Council, it could conceivably add time to the total approval process. However, if the Planning Board disapproves a proposal in its entirety, then the process would stop there under this proposal.
And on the current matter, are there time limits on going to the Planning Board when they need to act, how much time they need to act in, and the Landmark Board, how much time they need to act?
I think it's 62 days. Don't ask me where the extra 2 days come from. But it is, Lee Elman, the planning director, tells me it's now 62 days.
So if each one of the boards have 60 days, you're at 124 days. If in the current proposal, each one has 60 days, you're at 120 days to go back.
Yeah, so it might not, it depends on the type of case. And then bear in mind also that this proposal would address the certificate of appropriateness and provide an appeal. So that would lengthen that process. But if you were the person appealing, then you'd be glad for that, because you'd be taking an appeal from something that was denied. So, but I assume you were really asking about an initial designation.
Right. I mean, currently, the certificate of appropriateness, if someone doesn't get it, they'd have to file an Article 78 or something, I guess, right?
Well, they could, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the only appeal they'd have, and this gives them appeal to the planning board?
Yeah, I mean, in Article 78 is called an appeal sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not exactly what it is. It's you know, proceeding in court challenging the determination. So sometimes it is called an appeal, but I'd say that's not exactly what it is.
And just one final question, because this, the code rules have very, provide standards, basically, by which the Landmarks Preservation Board is guided in terms of deciding if something should be landmarked or not. And this doesn't provide any standards for the planning board, so there's no, how would the planning board decide? I mean, it seems it could be, without any guidelines in terms of what the planning board would do with what the Landmarks Preservation Board decided based upon planning board input, which they already are getting, and based upon professional expertise, which they have at their disposal, and then based upon the standards that are set forth specifically in their code. But this is, very vague. There's no guidelines at all, and I'm wondering, are we creating the potential for confusion, litigation, by making it so, allowing arbitrary and capricious action, basically?
You want me to address that, or it's more like the subject for debate? I mean, just as far as what you said, yeah, there are standards for the designation, so that if the designation is ultimately approved, there are standards set forth in the Landmarks Preservation Board, although they're quite broad as well. So that if the planning board approves a designation that they receive from the Landmarks Preservation Board, then those standards will have already been applied by the Landmarks Preservation Board to approve it. Now, disapproving a landmark, there wouldn't be a standard for disapproval. I think that's what your point is, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the planning board has its own planning-related mandates, but as far as your actual question about this proposal, it does not have standards in it. Correct. I mean, there's litigation. I've done litigation myself on city council determinations to disapprove or modify landmarks, and the courts have looked at and basically applied an arbitrary and capricious standard to that. I personally think a different standard should be applied. I think a legislative standard is